Hey, what's going on, traders? It's Johnny here at Trader X. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel, and I wanted to go ahead and get into another day trading recap for you guys today. So as you guys can see, it was a red day today. I was down $76, and that consisted of trading SQQQ and TQQQ, which, as you guys know, are the Nasdaq-based ETFs, right? So to get right into the breakdown, you guys can just see from the chart. So the Nasdaq was acting very bearish today, right? It had a huge sell-off just like it did yesterday. So if I go ahead and zoom out of here, you guys can see that yesterday the Nasdaq had a huge fall, right? Before ultimately it found a support right around this area and started to consolidate, and then ultimately had a huge sell-off again. And if you look at it from the bigger time frame, this shouldn't be very surprising given the fact that it had a nice bullish run and it rode the 180-day EMA up, right? So it was making these higher highs and higher lows, and then ultimately became overextended and started to sell off. And then rather than use the EMA as a support, it's now using it as a resistance, right? So yesterday, the Nasdaq ultimately got rejected, formed this little double top up here off the SMA, and started to make a sell-off, and then ultimately consolidated before selling off more today. And so how is it that the market sold off and I lost $72 on SQs? Well, a big mistake that I made today was I really started using more money than I should have in the first 2 hours of the market, and that was when the market wasn't very consistent. And I would say the main reason why I did that was I knew I had to go to an internship that I go to at 10 o'clock in the morning, and so I wasn't gonna have that much time to trade. So right around I would say 8 o'clock is when, as you guys can see, the market was being very inconsistent here, right? It was trading sideways, identifying a resistance around here, a support right around these levels, and it was kind of doing this sideways trading. So it wasn't choosing a direction. And what happened was, as the market started to sell off here, I bought in, and then averaged up heavy, and then ultimately I thought it was gonna break below the support level, and it never did. So it ended up bouncing, and I ended up having to cut my losses, right? So it was a hefty loss. It put me down about almost $200 on the day, and so that put me in a really rough spot. And so unfortunately, because I did that and used more money than I should have when direction wasn't clear, it cost me the ability to be able to take part in all of this juice when the market was more clear, right? So if I just held off and started to use more of an aggressive position size once direction was more clear, like it started to be, right? Once the market started to actually make these lower highs and lower lows, my apologies, then it would have made a lot more sense to actually use more money, right? So because of this $200 loss, I ended up going to work and taking a trade there on SQs, but I wasn't using a heavy position size anymore, right? Because if I risked another heavy position size going south, it would have put me in a really bad spot, and I wasn't willing to take that risk. So, I got in with about probably a third of the normal position size that I would have gone in with, and I ultimately let it ride on the day, right? So I believe I bought in right when it got rejected, when I think it was right around this level. So yeah, right around one of these drops here, I actually got into the stock. It was on this drop right before I went to my internship, and I was able to cut the trade right around these levels, I believe, right? So I made $120 just by doing that, and so that's ultimately what put me down on the day 75 or $76, right? But the lesson I want to teach you guys was don't ever use an aggressive position size as the direction isn't very clear. If I did so later on in the day, I could have made a killing today, right, guys? So that's just something I wanted to, let you guys know, and hopefully you guys can take away something from this and learn a lesson from it. But other than that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I hope all of you guys ended on a green note, and I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, other than that, if you have any other questions or anything like that, or want me to break down any stocks, please drop a comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, we'd really appreciate a subscribe, because we are new, and every subscription counts. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Take care.